Welcome back. Dale Myers with Vision Advance. Today we're going to discuss the question, should I wait to get married before I launch my business? Or as it was put to me, a young man came to me and he had a question, and he has a full-time gig, but he also does a little lawn care on the side, which he could turn that into another business, but he really kind of wants to sort of keep that one going and launch the one that he really would like to do. And he came and asked me, he was saying, well, do I think that he should put off getting married while he tries to launch this business? And I thought about that. Actually, I had a lot of different thoughts about that. And it kind of depends. Everyone is different. So first, let's just say that launching a business will be affected by whom you marry. It will be affected by the dynamics of the marriage. It will. But whether or not you should wait to launch your business before you get married, I can't answer that question for an individual, but what I will say is this. Launching a business will likely put a strain on a relationship, because the first couple of years of a business can be stressful until cash flow becomes predictable, and it will test any relationship. So I couldn't necessarily, and I told this individual, well, I couldn't tell you to not get married, but I would say to you is, how solid of a footing do you have in this relationship? How does your girlfriend, future spouse, feel about you running a business now? Is she supportive? Does she expect you to come home after your day job and come right home to her? Does she understand that as you grow this business or launch the next one, that it will be a greater demand on your time? What's the realistic expectations of life once you're married? Now, that has nothing to do with running the business, but it has everything to do with how the business will be run, or how you will run your business. Very often, because of how we've portrayed marriage growing up, and particularly how it's presented to our young women, that it's supposed to be all this great, perfect everything, and the male's going to drop everything that they're doing for you, and it's going to be all whimsical, and again, I am all for love and everything. However, in the real world, when you're either working full-time or double shifts for a job, the reality of life often is that you are going to work more than 40 hours a week, and you're going to love your spouse, you're going to be there for your spouse, but it's not going to be every minute of every day I'm going to be able to come home, and as much as I would like to, I'm not going to be able to just stare at you every day, all day, until it's time to get up the next morning. And now that, obviously, that might be a little over the top, but I think that you guys get my impression in that we have to have these honest adult conversations. If we're talking about being married, we need to have the adult conversation. You and your spouse need to have the conversation about, what does your life look like? What's the expectation about what are my weekends going to look like? How are we going to carve out family time? Now, again, this is what I could actually tie this into something that I wish I would have done in my first few years of marriage. I should have done a better job of carving out specific time for my wife. So what I will say is, I was certainly married to my business, and you're going to be married to your business as well, but your first responsibility is to your wife. But again, part of your responsibility to your wife means that you can put food on the table, which means you also have to go out and earn the money. How you choose to earn that money is up to you. If it's by entrepreneurship, then you have to be willing to put into that business. So, I wasn't trying to dodge the young man's question. And if I was to, again, kind of be straightforward and blank, point blank with it, I would simply say, look, you need to have the real conversation. Are you aware that you're going to be putting in, for your business to get off the ground, you're going to have to put in, on top of your 40-hour-a-week job, at least another 40. So we're talking about at least 80 hours a week. I say at least. Sometimes that's 90 to 100 hours a week. Are you okay with that first? And if the answer is yes, now then go have that conversation with your wife or soon-to-be wife to say, hey, baby, listen, launching this business is going to take some time. And it's probably a 2 to 5 year commitment to get this thing off the ground. So I'm probably going to be grinding here. How does that affect us? What's our life going to look like? Are we going to be okay? You think, this is what I have in mind. You think we can work with that? Do we have kids, or how is that going to affect us having kids? So first, understand what launching a business really is like. So now again, if you're still just talking about you're going to do something on the side, not really trying to get it up to be a full-time income, then maybe we're having a different discussion. Because, again, if like in growing my tutoring business, if I only wanted to make $1,000 to $1,500 a month, I didn't have to leave my job for that. I decided to try to stretch this tutoring thing out when I was making $3,000 or more a month part-time as a teacher, and I was like, man, if I could do this part-time, why don't I go ahead and try to stretch my legs out, see if I can get this thing up a little higher going full-time. And again, that came with a different set of challenges though. So again, to all those people out there considering getting married and being an entrepreneur, the two are intertwined. One will affect the other. And so, and I said I would be brutally honest. If your future spouse, wife or husband, whatever, if they are not on board with you grinding to build your business for the next 3 to 5 years, and in fact, if you know that you're an entrepreneur and if this one fails, you know for a fact you're going to move on to the next one. And if they're not okay with that, have those conversations. But I can look you in the eye today and tell you, you probably need to find another future mate. If the thought of you trying this one out and it fails and you going out and try another one, if they don't get that you're going to keep trying until you get it right, until you figure this thing out, if they don't understand you, do yourself a favor. Cut bait and run. Now, if you're already married, I'm never going to tell you that you need to leave your spouse. But you already know what you're dealing with. Then you have to answer the question, can I afford to hamper my future dreams by staying in this relationship? Is this relationship adding or taking away from my success? Now, once you answer that question, what you decide to do is up to you. But you need to be clear on what the answer to the question is. I've been there. It's not, it's not always peaches and cream when you're an entrepreneur. You do have to have these tough discussions. So, I don't know, you guys out there in social media world, what do you think? What advice would you give the young man or someone else who's preparing to launch a business as it relates to them getting hitched, getting married? Should they wait? Do you think it's related? Am I totally wrong? I'd love to hear your comments. Again, my name is Dale Myers with Vision Advance. Please thumbs up, like the video, share, and subscribe. You all have a great day.